World of YouTube, true crime, a terrible sight, and everything else. Just the other day, when was this? Let's see this. I didn't want to do this on my birthday, but I went there the next day. It was my birthday, September 25th. But, due to the fact that I was watching some stuff on the news while this case, unwinded itself, I ended up having the police at my door trying to figure out anything about this kid that went missing. And literally was found on the side of the road on I-90, Sterling, Mass. And his name was Jeremiah Oliver. How I met the kid's biological father. I went to his thing and released a balloon in his honor. And it's sad because this kid, when I lived in Meadowbrook in Fitchburg, Mass, he lived in Meadowbrook. He was one of the many kids that my kids hung around with. And they both were hanging around with each other. And, playing in the backyard, or you could call it a little football field. And, but it got pretty funny is right when he started not showing up and not seeing him around as much. But one would know why in the end, due to the scumbag parent that he had. And, but it was strange because on the news, I remember a sign being put up for Route 12. Sign I'd never seen. It was weird, and I don't even know if I'll be able to find that newscast. And I should have took a picture of it off the TV, but I wasn't thinking of this. And not only that, the site where they say this kid was found is not where I'm parked here on the side of the highway. And when I was watching it, even my wife was watching at the time, we both noticed that there was some type of thing right there that they were walking around and examining. Now, whether or not they just didn't want to make this the site because, they didn't want nobody knowing of it is beyond me. And why they wouldn't have that put there, which this is like a drainage storm drain, I believe. As you can see there. And it runs under the masses of trees there. Right there. And I was about to wonder if someone lived in there. I mean, they have the bottles, there's beer cans and stuff, but styrofoam cups, but it could have been just wind blowing trash and debris. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone was in there living in there. But, and then this next picture I'll show you really disturbs me. I mean, I believe they got their reasons for why they would not put this as the, original site, and it's further down the highway. But I think this is the original site where that kid was dropped off in a friggin' suitcase. And I also believe, like I said, September 25th, it's tattooed on this kid's mother's arm. And I want to say that kid was murdered on the 25th of September. Yeah, go figure, my birthday. I did get a news interview, but I didn't get it on the TV. I don't know why, but I mean, they were asking me some questions because where he lived, there was a big memorial type mural, building up with candles and stuffed animals and all kinds of stuff. And they showed me on the TV, lighting a candle for the kid, but in my interview, and for some reason, I don't know, don't matter. But that's how deep I was into this. And I did mention something in the video, mind you, that due to the severeness of the guy, the boyfriend that this stupid mother brought in forth to these kids, he was a member of the Latin Kings. And I did say something about, go figure, and believe it or not, that I would think that he brought that kid somewhere out that way towards west, say so Springfield, because that's where a lot of the Latin Kings reside, mind you. Out that way in Worcester and, towards Springfield. And sure and shit, this I-90, if no one's local and don't know it, leads into the Worcester I-90 route to Springfield. And I got a video up on that stating that. And that's exactly where that piece of shit dropped this kid off. Whether he was going to bring him somewhere further out that way or not, friggin' sick. And, my wife had a dream of this kid. And I'm about to wonder if anybody that knew what the autopsy and report was. But before this kid was found, my wife said she had a dream that he had a big black eye and 2 fingers missing off one of his hands. And I wouldn't be surprised if that son of a bitch cut his fingers off and punched him in his eye because he wouldn't stop crying. And one only can just imagine what that poor kid endured, man. Oh my God. Just the innocent soul. And, but I don't know, for some reason this area always, after seeing the news, not only that, someone was sitting in a car, mind you, right here, just like my truck is. And I remember seeing that guardrail, and it was raining that day. And someone wrote on a Facebook post that, the heavens are crying today. And I remember seeing that damn guardrail there. And mind you, where the spot that they claim, and they do have a cross along the highway, a memorial for the boy, that there's no guardrail there. And it's like, why would they relocate the area is beyond me, but I don't understand why, but whatever. Probably, I don't know, but it just, and then I went and did a video and also caught these sitting in the grass. I wonder if that's a medical examiner's gloves, for Christ's sake. Maybe, because they are rubber latex gloves. So, whether or not, why they made a memorial down the road, not at the original spot, is beyond me. I don't know. But I wanted to share this because, like I say, this kid lived literally in my neighborhood. And my kids most definitely had a little time, throughout all the kids in that place. I could say had the honor to so-called call him a friend or not, or whatnot. And, I remember that little kid running around too, I can remember. And there was another kid in that place that looked just like him too. It was like 2 kids. It's like, whoa, I mean, they were both the same height. They had the, same color. They were both Spanish, but I was like, these 2 look like, and I'd be like, hey, you 2 brothers? Like, no. Type thing, right? But it didn't last long. Because, that kid just immediately disappeared. And I had the cops at my friggin' door asking me all kinds of questions. And, it's like, I wish I could help you more, but all I know is I seen him, he was playing out in the back with all the kids, and all of a sudden one day he's gone, and, I wasn't much help. But I wish I could have done more. And I did start a series of videos and stuff. But, you know, did what I could do. But like I say, honestly, I think this kid was dropped off at this little stone wall. And I remember seeing this in the chopper view as they had the, the choppers out circling that area, especially the guardrail, and someone saying, right, they were at this spot and this heaven's crying today, and, you know, they were at that spot and they knew it, but yet they relocated it. It's beyond me. But, I mean, I just did a little video in there just to show what it looks like, and, you know, why would they change the spot? Not put the cross in this area is beyond me. And then you got them latex rubber gloves and stuff, and it's like, wow, what's really going on with this? It had me think, and then them two frickin' SOBs, the stupid bitches, out of jail. And they definitely got some protection order, because they did not let no one know that they got out until like months later or something. But it's like, wow, where does this end? You know? And that's the thing, man, with kids. They get into an uproar, you know, parents these days, and this exactly goes back to what I say, where people need to be educated on relationships and kids, man. If you can't handle it, you don't deserve to have them. And you definitely don't deserve to be throwing yourself around and tossing out babies in every goddamn girl. And right, today's society, that's right, folks, say what you will, but I do know today's society, and I do understand what today's society brings, and it's, sorry, not all of you, don't get wrong, not all of you, but a lot of them are not too bright. You ain't getting that light bulb to dim or to shine that bright light. There's a lot of them people these days, man, majority is just outrageous. And for stuff that keeps happening, them two bastards are walking the streets. Of course, there you go, not enough evidence, but that's where the law should be made. If that child was in your last care, then I'm sorry, you need to be held responsible for that death. Because where the hell else? Oh, he went to Florida with his aunt, I believe they said. He went out there, he was in Florida, and they had his sister. And the sister's the one that spoke out. I haven't seen my brother. She was 8 years old at the time. He was like 5, I believe. Yeah, about 5. Oh, yeah, I think he might be 11 this year. Because, yeah, he was my son Bryce's age. So, yeah, 11. I got that goofed up. I said 13, but still, whatever the age may be, it doesn't matter. This kid, man, got his life cut too short. And that's where people need to be investigated their own damn self, or educated, highly restricted, highly goddamn get it in the school system. And, enough of this BS out here of what people should be doing and not doing. Bear with me. Anyways, had a little pug attack. People driving by on their bicycles late at night. Ted's got to open his big mouth. You know how it goes. But more education needs to be taken on forth to this issue, this problem. It's sick, man. It's sick. Just sick. How many people get away with stuff? How many people, now them people walk free? Just like Bella Bond, her mother walked free. And mind you, I know I said this before, because I went to Dare Island and paid some respects to that little girl and the Native Americans that used to be, sent off on ships to be slaves in England. I mentioned that too. no justice. People just get to walk. Sick. It's just friggin' sick. And for this kid to be dropped off here in a suitcase and, their parents walk free. Even that mother, I read something in the paper sometime last year or maybe even the year before, but yeah, Bella Barnes' mother was, did a dirty drug test, mind you. What led her to that despair of her daughter? What led her to her daughter's death being on drugs and being with stupid people? Oh, she violated probation, so yeah, I'm sure she's still walking the streets though. Unbelievable what people do. Get away with. Vigilante justice is what needs to be served. Because they're talking about, the girl was possessed by the devil. I wonder what these guys thought of Jeremiah Oliver. Gonna play that friggin', card game of, he was possessed. He's the Diablo, as they say in Spanish. El Diablo. Just a sick world out there, people. And I would like nothing more to cut my date of birth off that woman's arm. Oh, I would too. Believe me, to know that kid probably was murdered on my day of birth, that's just horrific. And to know my kids used to wander the same friggin' grounds that kid did, played with him, and all of a sudden end up missing and gotta live with that for the rest of them. I'm glad my kids were young though and kind of don't remember them. I mean, they do, but because I would hate to have my kids live that life of traumatism and not being able to see a friend of theirs they're murdered brutally like that. Crazy, just crazy. Let's take a moment of silence for this boy. Of course, the pug can't be quiet. He don't know no better. Other than that, be safe, take care, always beware, folks, as there's monsters still out there. There's monsters that are just enough to drive you mad to think that they're still walking the damn streets. After just, that's right, taking a young boy or young girl's life. It's just sad that these people just continue to walk the streets. And kids are at spirit in places where they don't belong. Especially this one. So until that next video, folks, in honor of all lost, murdered children, out.